Today I'm going to be talking about a personal topic, which is the fear of singing. Join me in unraveling the many fears that we may have about singing. Let's go. So why do so many of us not sing when we secretly want to sing? Well, the reason is very simple, and it's because of fear. So firstly, there's the fear of sounding bad in front of others, especially when we are singing in front of our loved ones, in front of family members, in front of friends, or even work colleagues. We don't want to sound bad or look bad whenever we're singing in front of them. There are also those of us who always think that we don't sound good enough, no matter how well we sing. So sometimes we may be singing really well, or we may already have some singing chops, but most of the time we think that we sound bad, we think that we cannot sing in front of others because we haven't reached a certain level of singing. And so there are also those among us who want to be able to sing perfectly before we sing in front of others. But then there comes a problem. What do we mean by singing perfectly? And so there are also those of us who get stage fright every time we are asked to sing in front of people. So for example, if our family or friends ask us to sing in front of them, we get very scared and nervous, and our hands start to shake and our legs feel like jelly. We can't even stand up properly. And the minute we feel like that, no matter how good a singer we are in normal times, we will be very shaky and very scared when we sing in front of others. And that will severely affect our singing ability. There are also those of us who always sing out of tune, and no matter how we try, we can never get the correct pitch or we can never get the correct key. So we just give up and we don't want to sing anymore because we sound bad and people start to laugh at us whenever we sing in front of them. And also, there are those of us who believe that we are born with a bad singing voice, and that there's nothing we can do to change the tone of our voice, and that no matter what we do with this bad singing voice that we are born with, we can never sing well, and so we don't even want to try to take up singing lessons or even try to improve on our singing, because we sincerely believe that a good singing voice is given to us and there's nothing we can do about it.
Hello darkness, my old friend.
And so you see, many of the reasons that I just listed above have to do with fear. And fear is an extremely powerful obstacle when it comes to singing, because singing, in its very nature, is something that's very emotional and personal to most of us. And so when we sing, we have to put in our emotions, we have to put in our feelings, and we feel very personally involved in our singing because we have to tap on our innermost emotions and feelings. And so this makes us personally affected whenever we hear criticism, be it negative criticism or constructive criticism, because singing is such a personal thing to us. And so we fear the feedback that we may get. We fear what others may think of us after they heard us singing, and we don't even want to pick up the microphone or open our mouth to sing. In truth, singing is a very relaxing and enjoyable activity that we can do. It releases a lot of feel-good hormones like endorphins and oxytocin, and it allows us to release all the negative emotions that may be built up in our body. So essentially, it's something that's really good for us, and it also chases away depression. We usually feel very happy and relaxed after a good singing session, whether we do it alone in the karaoke lounge or if we sing with friends or even in a choir. We usually feel very happy and very good after a good singing session. It's just like how we feel after a great workout session. For example, if we go for a run, or if we go to the gym, or if we lift weights, we usually feel extremely happy and relaxed and even energetic after a great workout. And so singing is also a workout in the sense that we involved our entire body, our breath, and a lot of our muscles. And it also has the same beneficial effect on our body and also on our mind and spirit. So, how do we overcome our fear of singing in order to be able to reap these benefits? First, if the fear of singing comes from the fact that you're singing alone in front of many people, well then join a group of people to sing together with. You don't necessarily have to sing alone. You can always join a singing group or a choir, and that will help you to start doing some singing without having the stress of having to sing alone. Because a lot of us, when we think about singing alone, it feels like a major obstacle that we have to overcome. So start small, always start singing, but maybe you could join a group and start to get to know new people who are also passionate about singing, and singing together. Definitely there will be benefits in terms of group interaction, making new friends, as well as just feeling good and happy about yourself after a great singing session. Also, whenever we are singing in front of others, my advice to you would be to treat it as a sharing session rather than a performance or a very stressful thing to do. Because when we treat it as a sharing, when we convince ourselves that this is just a way for us to share our emotions and our thoughts and our voice with our friends and family, people who support us, then that becomes less stressful and it allows us to enjoy our singing in the process. So if we get a lot of stress singing in front of strangers, we can consider singing in front of good friends, singing in front of people who support us and who will encourage us no matter what happens. Or we can sing in front of family members who are supportive and who want to help us to become better. So being careful about the audience that you select and who you sing in front of is extremely powerful when it comes to building up your confidence for singing. And always remember that it's not a competition. It's just a sharing session. You're just singing in front of people who support you, and that should take the stress off your shoulders. And so if you find that you always sing out of tune or you always sound bad when you're singing, well, perhaps it's time to consider taking up some singing lessons or looking for a vocal coach to coach you at your house. Because sometimes we have to seek the help of others in order to improve. If we can't do it ourselves, and if we don't know how to improve our singing and how to improve our pitching or our key, or how to even get the correct key whenever we sing, we might want to consider looking for help. And so always select a vocal coach who is able to encourage you and give you the support that you need in order to start building up your confidence, and especially if you already think that you always sing out of tune or you always sound bad when you're singing. So be very clever in choosing an appropriate vocal coach who can help you to become a better singer. And so taking up some singing lessons definitely will help you in your confidence, because it gives you more skills on which you can tap on. And so this allows you to be more confident in your singing ability, and also allows you to have more things to use when it comes to singing. You also begin to become more aware of your own singing voice, and this even translates to your speaking voice and your overall confidence, because you are now in more control of your voice. And we all know that the human voice is one of the major ways of communicating with others. So being more confident in our voice, even when it comes to singing, will definitely help us in our daily speaking and our daily confidence when communicating with others. Now, one of the most important things that you have to do when it comes to overcoming the fear of singing is, sad to say, you have to sing more in front of others. So we can always start small by singing in front of family members, but gradually you want to be able to sing in front of strangers. You want to be able to sing in front of people who may or may not be supportive of your singing. So singing more often in front of others will help you to develop a thicker skin so that you feel less hindered by the opinions of others. And even if you were to hear some negative comments about your singing, always focus on the positive and always think of how you want to improve on your singing rather than dwelling on what you can't do at the moment. And so to share with you a little secret, I also always feel fearful whenever I have to perform in front of others. Whether it's in a small gathering or it's with close friends, or even when I'm performing in front of a big group of people, or even in a concert hall or a theater, I always feel fearful and nervous, because that is one of the most natural things that a human experiences whenever they are asked to sing in front of people. So there is no escaping this sense of fear, but what do we do with that fear? That is the most important thing. So we have to transform that fear and that nervous energy into something that can help us. So I always use that nervous energy that I feel and that adrenaline rush to give me more energy and more power in my singing. And I've trained myself to look past the fear and tap on that energy in order to be able to sing better in front of others. And of course, the moment we step on stage, we have to get in the zone and we have to enjoy the performance experience. And so that joy and that feeling of being on stage takes over and blocks out the fear, and I start to enjoy myself on stage. And the moment you enjoy yourself while you're singing, there is no fear and you will be able to continue to sing. And so whenever you see singers on stage enjoying themselves, always remember that they were fearful too. Even before starting the performance, everyone feels scared, everyone feels fearful. So you don't have to feel like you're alone in this. Always remember that everybody is experiencing the same emotion. But it is how we overcome it and how we absorb that energy and transform it into something positive that allows us to be able to perform easier in front of others. And so the next time you feel fearful when you sing in front of others, always remember these tips that I've given you today. Treat it as a sharing session. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. Don't think that you have to perform perfectly. Just take baby steps in order for you to be able to overcome that fear of singing in the first place. And the beauty of it is, the more you sing in front of others, the less nervous you will feel, and the better you will be able to overcome your fear of singing. And as you sing more and more, your skill in singing will also improve, and as you start to search out better techniques of singing, better vocal coaches who can help you to improve when you're singing, you will definitely become a better singer. And so if you want to learn more about singing tips and singing techniques, you can always check out the videos that I have for you. And if you wish to know whenever I release a new video, click on the subscriptions bell in order to subscribe to my channel. And so the next time you are asked to sing in front of others, I sincerely hope that you will be able to find the courage and look past the fear in order to do so. I'll see you in the next video.